Okay, good afternoon. I would like to start by acknowledging the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, the traditional custodians of land on which we are meeting today. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and future. I extend this respect to all Indigenous friends with us here today. I believe that, as Australians, we are so lucky to live on the most beautiful lands and around the most stunning beaches and waterways. I feel that we have our First Nations friends to thank for this. I trust that in the future, all Australians will continue caring for our beautiful nation and for each other. My name is Elijah Arranz. I'm a young man living and dealing with a severe traumatic brain injury, the result of a freak accident I had when I was 14 years old. And for the next 20 minutes or so, apparently the floor is mine. To which I am honoured. Thank you, Events ACT, for the invitation to tell you a little bit about me and my story. So, I usually like to start by talking about the elephant in the room. What elephant, you ask? Well, a young, good-looking and charming elephant. But an elephant nonetheless. I mean, clearly I'm a little bit different. I know it's not always easy or comfortable for people when they first meet me. I get it. I really do. I see the way people look at me. I hear the comments they whisper. They go a bit like this. Oh, he looks different. I don't know what we will talk about. I'm not sure he is going to manage. How could he possibly fit in? And honestly, it is okay. Because I tell you, I get it. It is not easy being born a ginger. However, please don't let my appearance or my laboured speech fool you. I am a pretty regular person who loves to meet new people. And I only have about 15 to 20 minutes up here. So, if there's more you would like to know, things you would like to share, if you feel the need to say hello, heck, even if you like set me up on a date, well, don't be shy. Feel free to approach me and start the conversation, because sometimes that is the hardest part when dealing with people who are a little bit different. Now, I guess I should give you a little bit more about me, my past, and this accident that I referred to earlier. Growing up, I was a pretty regular 14-year-old coming to the end of year 8. I did alright at school and got pretty good grades. I was good at maths. I wasn't a big fan of literacy, and PE was by far my favourite subject. I swear, I would have been happy doing PE all day, every day. I played guitar, collected sneakers, with Jordans being my favourite of course, and I loved hanging out with my mates. Pretty regular stuff, really. I also trained in martial arts. I was a pretty decent basketball player and long-distance runner. In fact, I had been a state representative for both of these sports and had dreams of representing Australia one day. But then, on a sunny Saturday morning, the 21st November 2015, my family and I set off to Goulburn Airport to watch my older cousin do his second skydive, a present that we had given him for his birthday. While we were waiting, the lady at the desk asked me if I was keen to jump. Not wanting to miss out on a fun and exciting opportunity, I was soon suited up and ready to jump out of a plane from over 10,000 meters in the air, strapped to my instructor, Tony Rockoff. But what started as an adventure ended in a tragedy. We good? Due to unexpected gust of wind, the parachute collapsed at about 10 to 15 meters from the ground, and Tony had no time to adjust it. Tony was an experienced ex-army commando and hero of many Australian military campaigns. In an effort to save me, he bravely lost his life almost instantly. As for me, I was left busted and broken. I was unable to move, speak, or eat, but I was breathing with the help of machines. I spent 7 weeks in a coma in ICU. For 6 months, I was unable to speak. For 7 months, I was unable to eat solid food or even move my limbs. All up, I was at Westmead Children's Hospital for 4 days shy of a year. Please know though, that I don't tell you all of this so that you can feel sorry for me, or so that you would be shocked or saddened. I tell you this because I want you to know where I have come from, and to have some context and understanding that the things I speak about come from the experiences that I have had, as well as the needs I currently have. It has been just over 10 years since then. I've been working my hardest to regain all of the things that I lost, to live my life, to become independent, and to be accepted and included by friends, peers, and colleagues as an equal, rather than someone to feel sorry or pity for. I hit the gym 5 days a week. I do yoga. I train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have a steady job. I am walking again. I know it is a little dodgy, but it is working nonetheless, and it is slowly getting better. But I'm also realistic and self-aware about myself. Apart from the red hair, I know that there are things that make me a little bit different. I know that there are things that I find difficult to do, or that I need help or support with. And so, here I am, speaking to you about accessibility. And let me start by saying thank you once again. Thank you for seeing and acknowledging that there are people in our community who are a little bit different, who have needs that are varied and diverse, but who, in my case at least, also want to be a part of all the great things that are on offer to see, to listen to, and to participate in. Now, I usually get invited to speak about subjects such as resilience, strength of mind, positivity. I am asked to inspire, motivate, or entertain. But accessibility is a new one for me, and therefore I had to give it some thought before putting pen to paper. And in doing so, something struck me. And no, that is not a skydiving joke. It struck me that accessibility can mean so many different things, different people with different needs. My accessibility needs are completely different to someone with ASD, or someone who is visually impaired, or someone with age-related issues, or someone who is missing a limb, someone with bladder issues, someone with PTSD, or someone. Well, at this point, I am sure you can all see where I'm going with this. I don't think that we can say that one size will fit all. And with that said, am I actually the best placed person to be here today? Well, bloody oath I am. I do have accessibility needs, so I am one of the best people to ask. But I should be one of many, because I'm only really best placed to speak about the needs that I have and what I appreciate. I have a brain injury. This brain injury has caused me to have mobility and movement issues. And as you can probably tell, my speech is also affected. I can definitely tell you about my experiences, but I'm probably not best to speak on behalf of anyone or everyone else. However, in my opinion, I think that the first thing to consider is to speak to the experts, some of which I believe may be here today, which is amazing. Thank you for everything that you do and you are doing. Please also speak to occupational therapists, physios, people with a range of diverse needs. Got it. Here's an analogy for you. Think of it like asking a room full of people what the bar should serve. There will be beer drinkers, cider drinkers, spirit drinkers, non-drinkers, those who drink wine, those who drink bubbly, those who want a coffee, and of course, those who have the greatest needs, the cocktail drinkers. Oh, and inevitably, you will still likely come across that person who just wants a milkshake. Now, what's good? Do we have any of them here? But I must say, the fact you are having this conference indicates to me that you're probably already aware of this. So, with that in mind, I thought that maybe the best I could do is tell you about the things that I have experienced in the past, the things that have made life easier, and the things that have been more difficult. Before doing so, I would like to acknowledge that both me and my family have noticed a significant improvement in accessibility awareness over the last 10 years, which is amazing. For this, we're all thankful for those who have contributed to the improvements. But let's start with the less than positive experiences. Firstly, and I shouldn't have to say this, but accessible toilets and change rooms. Now, I don't want to name any names, but when I first returned back to school and I attended a school community day at a certain campus pool with big slides, to mine and my mum's surprise, they did not have accessible toilets, nor family rooms where a parent could go with the opposite sex child. Because of this, my mum had to take me across the road to the club, just so I could do my business. To be honest, this was a slap in the face of reality, to say the least. And on that note, if you are going to have accessible toilets, please make sure that they are regularly maintained, because there is nothing worse than slipping over and being covered in other people's piss. TMI, I know. But trust me, there is nothing worse. And not only that, but please keep an eye on these toilets, as for some reason, people love to get up to no good in these spaces, if you know what I'm saying. Other things include uneven surfaces that make it difficult for wheelchairs, walkers, and people like me with mobility issues. As someone with a brain injury, my mental battery drains a lot faster than most people, and not having a quiet place to recharge can knock me out for days. Lack of lifts? No more to say here. Please know that just because my speech is slurred, it doesn't mean that I am drunk. And sometimes, well, actually all of the time, I am wobbly on my feet. And again, it doesn't mean that I am drunk. Nobody likes a queue, but for someone like me, a queue can either make or break a night. Now, because everyone loves to end on a positive note, I would like to talk about the good things that I have experienced. First of all, communication is key. Email your ticket holders to find out the needs of the individual, and if able, go that extra mile to assist. Companion cards? For those who don't know what these allow someone with needs to bring a support person, whether it be a friend, family member, or a support worker. They are absolute gold. I have been to some venues with excellent quiet places that are quiet and air-conditioned, allowing me to recharge when needed. Pardon me. Trained, dedicated employees who have been placed to simply keep an eye out and make sure that I and others with needs are okay. Viewing platforms? Everyone loves a mosh pit, but sometimes being elevated is needed and a game changes. Express entry into gigs, festivals, venues, merch stores? This one probably doesn't need to be said, but ample disabled parking spaces near entries. And I mean ample, as these can make a huge difference. Step 3 shuttle buses that have drawn me close to where I need to get to? Amazing! Concession prices, as sometimes our earning capacity is less than that of the general public. And with saying all of this, I would actually like to share with you one experience that just so happened to land pretty much all of what I have just mentioned. I have been going to this music festival for years now, and my experiences had been mixed, but this year they pretty much nailed it. The communication from the word go when I inquired about a companion ticket was beyond anything that I or my family had experienced before. They had express lanes at entry. They had amazing workers from the entry with very clear advice and support from the security guards. They had a viewing platform. They had clean disabled toilets. They had a beautiful quiet sunflower space. And not to mention a stellar lineup. I mean, Kendrick was phenomenal. But if you were lucky enough to see Doji, wow. And with saying all of this, if any of you are from the Spill Milk team or know anyone from the Spill Milk team, please pass on my sincere thanks. Last year's Spill was by far the best experience that I have had from beginning to end with an event that I have attended. It is clear that the Spill organisers are taking accessibility seriously, which is bloody awesome and appreciated. So once again, my name is Elijah Arranz. I thank you for not only listening to my story and experiences, but more so for seriously considering the needs of diverse people, as you may never truly understand how much of a difference you can make for a person's well-being, both physically and mentally. Thank you.